financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is a big scam, fraudulent deeds, and special guest Anthony Forlini is here to help. Good morning, Brian Small.
Good morning, Ken. A pleasure to be here this morning. I am fascinated by this topic, and let's hope we get some help for our viewers.
The last show we discussed, it was supposed to be Good morning, Brian Small, and you were supposed to say, Good morning, Ken.
I know, but you know,
you're off script
I've
already.
been doing this for a long time.
And the show's been on for 22 seconds.
And
good
why
morning,
am I
Jeff
follow
Linden.
rules?
Good morning, Ken. Great to be here.
Tony Forlini, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Welcome to the show. Tony's our special guest today. He's focusing in on fraudulent deeds, but more important to that, you're a former Macomb County Clerk, state representative, and now you're a candidate for Secretary of State for the great state of Michigan.
Well, I'm the current county clerk, former state representative.
There you go.
There you go.
And you know, so we're gonna talk about fraudulent deeds, and then we're also gonna talk about candidacy and everything else. Kelsey Simasko,
Great to be here.
good to have you back again.
Great to be here. See, I'm the only one who actually follows the script and reads the outline, you know?
Well, you don't get that from your father.
Wait, there's an
No
outline?
surprise.
It's also a big lie.
So let's kind of fraudulent deeds. Right? Let's kick it off right on. Tony, what's going on with this, and why is this a hot topic right now?
Well, it's a hot topic, and I'll tell you why. Because the laws haven't changed in years, and there's a few problems. Technology, right? Technology. People can now just lift signatures off of a page, lift notaries off of a page, put it on another document, and
then electronically record it.
electronically record or bring it in. Honestly, it's crazy how simple it's become, and it's because of really technology and the laws haven't kept up. I think there's really two parts to this. You know, first you got the fraud that's going on with people that will take your deed by means of forging your signature and getting a notary that's either willing to do it, committing fraud themselves, or they
Just make up a notary.
Make up a notary, do whatever. And there's, who's notarizing the notary?
Yeah.
Think about it. Who is notarizing the notary? How do you? A notary is such a special classification, but it's really.
Yeah, and even if a notary would have insurance, the insurance would not cover the notary because it would have an exclusion for fraud. And then, so there's no recourse against the notary because the notary didn't fraudulently notarize. The notary didn't do anything other than their signature was stolen. But how is this happening? People own property, let's say it's vacant, and then the perpetrator finds a buyer for the property, sells the property, gives that buyer a fraudulent deed. The buyer then thinks they own the property, and then all of a sudden there's communication between the buyer and the owner of the property, and the owner of the property says, "What are you talking about? I didn't sell my property."
Exactly. And who knows when this happens? And it's not just something nefarious like that. It could be within families, right? It could be something real simple. That's worse.
It's not just vacant properties, though. I had an 85-year-old woman who called our office, and I spoke to her, and someone sold her house out from underneath her.
While she's living there?
Yeah. I referred her to the State Attorney General's office because it wasn't something that I could do anything for her other than tell her to call the police and go to the Attorney General's office and see where they could. We could
have brought a deck action to declare the fake deed void.
Fraudulent.
At the
But
time,
that's expensive. That
that was the real problem. There's a cost to
Being
the
defrauded.
individual who has been defrauded, and sometimes they can't afford the opportunity to take the legal process, which would be great if there was such an avenue that was more administrative than legal that would be available, especially if this is becoming more prevalent in the state.
So what is the fraud alert program? How does it?
So, and it's exactly that. Make sure you understand it's a fraud alert. That means the bad deed has happened already. So it's an alert. So somebody records a deed with us. If they're on our system and their name is in our system, we will go ahead and send the email out and say, hey, transaction happened here. But it's up to that person. They're not protected.
Unless
they're
they
just
registered
notified.
with you. And then they have to register with you to give you
Well, they
their
have to be
email
registered
address?
with you, right?
They have
Because
to-
not
they have to-
everybody is going to be listed in the system.
When I took office, we have over 300,000 deeds in Macomb County. When I took office 5 years ago, there was 1,200 people signed up for the system, and I said, well, what good is the system if
Right.
nobody knows about
Not
it?
using it.
So I went out and I've been promoting it, similar to what we're doing here today, to talk about this because nobody knew about it, even myself. And it took me probably 6 months of being in office before I said, oh, I should sign this up myself, right? And so since probably, I'm going to say the last 2 years, 2.5 years, we went from about 1,200, 1,500, somewhere in that ballpark a couple of years ago to over 23,000 today. So we've really tried to market this, really try to let people be aware. I talk to jurors every day on this, about this program, and they'll sign up right on the spot. It takes all
2
about
minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really
I
simple.
wonder
Now,
if-
is
do
Macomb
the-
County the only county that has this type of program?
No. I'm going to say just about every county in Michigan has it, if not every county.
And nobody knows about it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't think of these things, but now, Wayne County has had a huge problem. I've talked to Bernie, the register of deeds there, and he's prosecuted over 400 people
Wow.
for deed fraud. Now, each of these
Wow.
people that got prosecuted didn't do a one-timer. They could have done hundreds.
So they're fraudulently creating the deeds and trying to retain the property that they're doing it on, probably, as opposed to selling it, or both?
Both. I think, it's better to get out of the deal.
Yeah, I would
right?
think if you want to be the perpetrator, you want to get in and
Yeah,
out.
get out,
But I
so-
mean, I'm not really.
You want to hold it.
I'm not that experienced at it.
Come find me.
Right. Yeah, here I am. Arrest me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so
There's probably a fair number of those, though, because people just don't think through
Right.
their crimes. Let's take a break. We'll come back.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
For almost 60 years, Simasko Law has been the trusted source for helping families navigate the uncertain world of estate planning and elder law. And now, our firm is growing even stronger with the addition of attorneys Joe Frazard and Kelsey Simasko. 2 more lawyers to make sure your family is protected now and into the future. Call Simasko Law today for a free consultation. Our hardworking team is standing by to provide you peace of mind. Simasko Law. Protect what matters.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
All right, so we're back. So how about a real life situation like this?
Well, I'll tell you, a situation just came across our desk just this past 2 weeks ago. It happened to be a family member. One of my cousins passed away. Their brother, who's in charge of the estate, was in contact, helping the brother out when he was going through this bad time with his health. And the woman he was living with was pleading to please get this house in my name. I mean, I'm going to be homeless if we don't do this. Well, they weren't doing it, and that wasn't going to happen. And he passes away. This is just a few weeks ago now. And come to find out through the probate process that a deed was backdated allegedly a couple years ago. And
From him to her.
From him to her. And it appears like it's been forged. And the notary was actually, they lost their license 10 years prior. Yet the title company still recorded it.
Because you don't verify who the notary is.
So the notary laws are the biggest culprit in this whole thing.
Well, that's the
The
interesting thing. I mean,
perpetrator, the woman, is maintaining that it's a legitimate deed? Is that her-
We'll
or
see
too
what's
soon
going
to-
on. I'm going to leave it up to experts like yourself to debate
the
this.
alleged perpetrator.
The alleged perpetrator reminded me of Rose
Yes.
from my family story, but Rose was my grandfather's second wife, who he was dying of cancer. She was kind of a newly second wife. She was worried, well, what about me? So she didn't, nothing fraudulent. She convinced my grandfather to sign over all of his CDs shortly before he passed away. And then, so Rose ended up holding on to basically his entire estate. And Rose died 3 months after he died, leaving all of his estate to her children.
Right.
Which did not make my parents happy.
Right.
But I was 12 years old at the time. So
Oh,
when you're telling me
you
this
know-
story, I always bring up Rose.
Right. But what do you do, though? Because you get a notary. There's a list of notaries and licensed notaries. We're all notaries. So when you sign up to get a notary, you log in a signature on your card and they have it. But when you notarize something, I've never come across an experience where somebody's checking that I'm actually on the notary list. Nobody's checking the
Yeah, I mean,
signature
if you
that it's
think
the
about
notary
it,
signature.
you could have so many verifications. You could have a requirement for a notary when they're notarizing something to enter it into a database.
Right.
The notary is a very precious thing and really relied on by attorneys, by everybody, by the whole system. But it's become bastardized, if you ask me, and it's
Absolutely.
become. I'll tell you, I don't know enough to know how to solve it, but why not do something like on your phone?
Two-factor authorization.
You got Google Authenticator. Why not
Yeah.
have State of Michigan Authenticator? And I'm signing it right here, and I got my number. I'm going to put that number down. That's right now. This time, I put the time on here. I know that it was my
It's
app
easy-
right there.
It's easy, and it can be funded by charging a fee to anyone that notarizes, that goes to the state to fund the cost of doing the two-factor authorization. The technology, who
It
knows,
needs to happen.
but it can be funded so easily.
And
It needs to happen.
The
Something
funny
needs
thing
to
is
happen.
that, our homes are our most precious asset for most people. Yet, you can lock your credit up with TransUnion, Equifax, and TRW without even a thought. You just go online, boom, it's done, and no one can access your credit without you releasing the hold. Okay? There's no mechanism like that with real estate.
Correct.
So actually, I've seen online, and I've seen commercials, not in the last year, but earlier than that, where, just like LifeLock.
But they won't protect your deed either.
No, there's another one that was advertising the same thing for the deed. And when I saw that commercial, I said, if you get the paperwork and you read the contract, I guarantee you they're really insuring you for nothing with all the exclusions, because that's usually what happens, which is really what LifeLock does. Your $1 million policy, I would, without cremating, in my opinion, based upon my observation
I love it.
as to reading the contract, it's my instincts and guess that they've never paid $1 million claim that they advertise. But when both of those came out, I was so negative on them. But there might possibly be a benefit, just like alerts are a benefit. But Tony, I think the two-factor authorization becomes a simple way. That eliminates the possibility of a notary being forged, because if a notary participates in the fraud, they're going to get caught.
Right.
Right.
And and nothing's ever limited. There's always going to be fraud somewhere, correct? There's always going to be fraud. We just have to reduce and make it tougher.
It's totally out of date.
Yeah, right now it's way out of date. And to be honest, legislators. I was a legislator. Who thinks about this stuff? And honestly, should the legislators be the one to legislate this, or should we have a team put together and say, all right, how are we going to fix this? Because this is a problem. Bringing in experts like yourselves or whoever the case might be, technology people, and say, hey, how do we make this work? And then put it into law.
Yeah,
there's definitely many stakeholders in it. I mean, and funding it is not so easy in the sense that, remember, for notaries to do notary work for a fee, you're only allowed to charge $10.
Well, that's old
So no, I don't mean
for those that do. But they're saying if it's funded by the notaries.
Yeah, you change the law.
Right. You have to
And then
the whole
you
package.
allow the fee to be charged to the person who is
customer.
asking for the customer. But that doesn't go to the notary. That goes to the state to cover the cost of the two-factor authorization.
And it wouldn't be very expensive.
we're
It could be
creating a bill as
$5
we're talking about.
a notary event. That would more than cover it.
I mean,
Well,
if it's $5 extra to
yeah.
notarize, it is what it is.
Right.
You don't.
Listen, there's warranty deeds, there's quitclaim deeds, there's different levels, right? If you want a good notary, you need to really pay for a good notary. There has to be a way of doing it, because it is rampant right now, the fraud.
Yeah. And it does. I wouldn't limit it to deeds, because the whole purpose of a notary is verification. Why not make the verification legit? Let's take a break.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Okay, Lisa, we have one last question for you. How old should your grandkids be before they can take the money and spend it on their own?
Thanks, Grandma. Thanks, and I'm getting mine next week.
35. You've worked hard your whole life to create a lasting legacy for your heirs. Let Simasko Law help you make the right decisions to protect the ones you love. Simasko Law, protecting what means most, because that's what we do.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Time for announcements. I want to announce Thav Gross has opened a new office downriver in the Horizon building on Eureka Road. So now we're in Flint, downriver, and also our home office in Bingham Farms. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. You can do it by Zoom conference, in the office, any way that works best for you. Just call 888-235-HELP or go to the website, thavgross.com, to sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business law issues, elder law issues with Pat or Kelsey, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Again, sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or just call 888-235-HELP. Also, if you go to the website, you'll see there's free reports. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jeff Linden and myself. Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. And The Retiree's Guide to Social Security by Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, Thav Gross, Simasko Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we're back. So you had a question.
Yeah, so if I were to find out that this is happening on my property, what do I do? Right? Someone knocks on my door and says, I bought your house, get out.
Yeah, don't leave, right? I don't think you would, right?
Yeah, don't give up possession.
Of course not. But I mean, this is the problem. The whole system is broke because now you're putting them in a position where you've got to defend the fact that you actually own your house. And this person might be an innocent person that bought a house they thought legitimately. So it's a problem. And the real problem is the person that's no longer around. That sold the house on a great deal.
That person's gone. You don't get out of the house. You say to him, this is my property, I don't know what you're talking about. You can go get a lawyer. You maintain possession. Because as soon as you get out, as soon as they move into the property, then you have to file a lawsuit to get rid of them. The bigger problem is the vacant property. The vacant property, the buyer goes on and puts on a sign, this is my property, and starts erecting a fence or building a house. And you happen to go drive by the farmland and say, what happened?
How did this happen?
Massive problem. So you're running for Secretary of State. So what's the motivation? What's the goal?
Well, you know, I'm the county clerk of the third largest county in the state of Michigan. And some of the things we're talking about are real problems statewide, not just in Macomb County.
Sure.
These things, and you know, obviously there's a lot of conversation about election theft and that kind of a thing. And in Macomb County, we did a lot of things in Macomb County to try to secure up the elections, but it doesn't do much good if we're the only ones doing it. We want to do these things statewide. So that's what motivated me. Let's fix things, and it doesn't. It's not a financial gain for me. I live 4 miles from work. I have a great career, not term limited. Why would I ever run for Secretary of State, which pays quite a bit less and a long drive compared to what I have right now? Because this has been my motivation since I've started in public office. Let's fix things. There are so many things like we're talking about that need to be fixed. This is something nobody's talking about. Elections are another part of it, and even customer service. We've talked about this earlier, about the service in Macomb County. We won 2 national awards for the service, operational efficiency, innovation. When you come into our office, it's 4 minutes from the time you hit the front door to the time you're served, and from that point, the time you leave, under 10 minutes. We got a great system. That needs to happen at the Secretary of State's office.
You know, it's kind of funny. Jeff and I have this conversation oftentimes that we're in Oakland County, so most of the litigation that we do is Oakland County based, but we're also in Wayne County and we're also in Macomb. And we always comment that the Macomb experience is always very positive.
There we go.
It's
good people.
Macomb does it better.
It has a different feel. It has a different flavor. It's like it's a big, massive county, but you go there and you feel kind of welcomed and you feel like you're in a small community, whereas in our community and in Wayne County, you really don't get, I mean, there's efficiencies, but you don't get warmth and you don't get efficiency at the same rate. It's always been an observation.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know, I've actually sat out there with an irate customer, say, hey, have a seat. What's going on? And all the people, the clerks in the counter say, oh my God, I can't believe you came out and sat with this guy that's irritable. No, he's not. He's just got some issues. It's our job to make them better. That's what we're supposed to do, make it better. So they see me take the time with customers, and they know it's okay for them to take that time to get through their issues, whatever that issue is. That's what needs to happen at every level. How about this? We have no voicemail. You call our office, we're going to pick up the phone 98% of the time. Now, I track all this stuff, so that's why I know it. 98% of the time, we pick up the phone, we're going to answer the question, everyone's cross-trained, we're going to get you an answer first time. Try that in any other government office.
Yeah,
and guess what? Our employees feel good.
Get past
Are you kidding? In Wayne County, you can't even, they don't even give you a number anymore. You have to email them and wait.
Yeah, listen, we're here to serve,
Listen,
right?
in Wayne County, you can't even find the building, right? At least Macomb, it's pretty obvious.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, but when the Register of Deeds is on the 5th floor of some massive building that you don't know where it's at, right? When you look at the populations going to just try to file these deeds, most of them have never been to the Register of Deeds before.
I remember the experience as a law clerk going down to the probate court in Wayne County to file some papers. And it was like Chuck Thav, who's been gone now for 12 years, and he was my dear partner. He sent me on this just to have fun of watching my reaction of when I got home, because he says, just take these papers, go up to the probate court and indicate to him that you're here to file them. And it was like, it was the most brutal event a young to-become lawyer ever went through.
God,
I was so abused in that office. I came back to him and said, I'm never doing this again.
I would give my left leg to be abused in person in Wayne County probate court today. The doors are locked.
Yeah.
So there's nobody
Probate
in
is not
the building.
open.
Sad.
The only way to
it's-
file is through email.
It's funding also, but it's also dedication. My hat's off to you, because your public service today is a difficult decision to make, because you're also walking into a political environment that we never had before.
On both sides.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
But when you're the servant, you're always caught in the middle.
That's a good place to be.
Best of luck to you. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the
Thanks,
campaign.
Ken.
Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.